As the Trump administration looks to crack down on the threat posed by Latin American cartels, the Navy has deployed multiple warships to the region, including 3 guided missile destroyers and 1 guided missile cruiser. Let's take a closer look at what is going in the capabilities that they have. So here is the USS Gravely, the Jason Dunham, in the Samson. Those are the Panama Canal headed to international waters off Venezuela. When you talk about this administration's push for peace through strength, this is what strength looks like. And you talk about capabilities, you can see a missile being fired off here. So the destroyer capabilities is quite impressive. It's one of the strongest we have in the arsenal. They're equipped with Tomahawk and vertical launch ASROC missiles. Those are anti-sub rocket missiles, very significant. They also can carry nuclear-tipped missiles. They're equipped with the Aegis weapon system. That's what makes these destroyers very unique. And they can reach speeds up to 30 knots, which makes them very swift and very quick and can maneuver at a moment's notice. Finally, they all carry 2 LAMPS helicopters. What's that? Those are light airborne multi-purpose systems. They're also known as Seahawks, Sikorsky Seahawks. They can maneuver in very urban areas or overseas, depending on what they need to do. There's also a nuclear-powered submarine that is following along with these. So quite a lot of power, sending quite a strong message to international waters off Venezuela, a message being heeded by Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who has mobilized over 4 million militia members to try and combat this if there is some sort of incursion. Today, Secretary of State Marco Rubio heading to Latin America as he begins a trip to Mexico and Ecuador. The State Department says will center on discussions towards dismantling the cartels, halting fentanyl trafficking, and ending illegal immigration. Joining us now to discuss is security specialist and cartel expert Ed Calderon. Ed, what do you make of the ships that are being sent and how Maduro is responding to this? And do you think ultimately that Secretary Marco Rubio's trip can sort of help foster these other Latin American countries, Mexico, Ecuador, to join our fight against the cartels?
Mexico is going through a very leftist time in its policy and politics. It's going to be an uphill battle. The things that are going on with the Maduro regime have been going on for years. The first time El Chapo was arrested in the 90s was coming back from a meeting with some of the generals that run the Cartel de los Soles, which is very much at the center of some of these allegations that the United States is launching at Maduro. It's an uphill battle.
It's an uphill battle, Ed, but, you point out rightfully that back in 2020, the first Trump administration indicted Maduro as the leader of the Cartel del Soles because of narco-terrorism and because of the cocaine trafficking. Do you see what we're seeing in this show of force, this strength off the international waters of Venezuela will in some way convince Maduro that it is time for him to give up his reign on that cartel and stop sending the deadly drugs into our country?
And movement is down. Obviously, some of these cartel forces and people that are moving things on that ocean are stopping. Large seizures of the kind that we haven't seen ever in Mexico. Fear on the part of the Maduro regime mobilizing 80-year-old people to basically take up arms and in defense of his kind of indefensible regime.
Yeah, and
See, I don't know why they choose to have this guy. I've seen him on Joe Rogan's podcast, and I don't understand why they keep having this gentleman. Yeah, he's former law enforcement officer and supposedly has dealt with the cartels, but everything that I heard on the Joe Rogan and even everything we just heard right now, he's speaking in generalized terms. I could go on the news and say the exact same thing because it's nothing new. It's not new information. We already know a lot of the stuff. He basically reiterated what the gentleman said when he asked the question. He just flipped it in a way where he just answered it. So that's why, one of my buddies even talked to me about this guy, but I told him, I was like, I don't even find him to be that credible. I tried looking him up online to figure out more about his background and who he is, and because I want to know my sources. I want to know how credible you are in knowing, what's going on in this specific thing, especially when it's about he is known to be talking about the cartels. And that raises some flags with me, because if you know a lot about the cartels, then you may have a possibility of having some sort of connection with the cartels, in my opinion. And I don't want to say that I'm accusing him of that, but I mean, when you're just stating, the simple facts and reiterating things, it makes me not want to listen, because I'm not sure if that's credible information, in my opinion. As for what the Trump administration is doing about the cartels, I mean, sending these ships, I mean, we're probably spending tons of freaking taxpayer money servicing these ships, the fuel, the maintenance, everything, all the personnel that are on there to be traveling in the ocean to making sure our oceans are secure in international waters, and preventing, these transportation of, weapons, illegal weapons, humans, trafficking. I mean, anything you can think of that's probably been going on and been neglected for quite a few years. We don't even know how long. But now we're showing the world, hey, we're patrolling. We're patrolling the waters, and I'm sure the Air Force is in the air, patrolling the air, and really looking out for any type of criminal activity. The Trump administration wasn't lying. Mass deportations, getting illegal criminals out of this country, and also working towards getting rid of the cartels. He made the huge announcement, Trump made the huge announcement about eliminating the cartels, classifying them as a terrorist organization. I'm all for it, and the American people want this. They want to be safeguarded in our homeland. They want to be able to travel to different countries, such as Mexico, to enjoy their heritage and being able to be tourists without having to, wake up the next morning and hear that, 10 people got killed down the street from where you were touristing at. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Till next time, peace out, everybody.